Chapter 1 of Pirkei Avot. So we'll do Mishnah 17. We've done this one a number of times, but it's an important one. Shimon used to teach. It says Shimon Beno. Shimon Beno Omer. Shimon, the son of Rabbi Gamliel, used to teach as follows. Kol Yamai Gadalti Bein HaChachamim. He was fortunate that all his days he grew up among the sages. He grew up, around the Chachamim. Velo matzati laguf tof el shtika. And even though what's the activity of the sages? They would speak, they would teach, they would learn. It was all about talking. Yet, he recognized that there's nothing better for the body than shtika, than silence. As he says here, silence is good for the wise, and all the more so for fools. So there's something very powerful about, not always do you have to speak. Sometimes silence is okay as well, and you learn more from silence sometimes than speech. And he continues, something that we know, speech can cause great damage both to the one who speaks it and to the one about whom it is spoken. For a person who is demeaned, it is preferable for him to remain silent. So that's the first thing he said, to remain quiet sometimes. And on the same theme, it's not study or rhetoric that is principle, but rather action. Meaning to say, the test of a person and a society is not so much in what they say, but it's what they do, which are what determine the person or society's direction. The commentaries note that this is the reason a person should not teach or expound unless he practices what he preaches. Meaning it's easy to teach, it's easy to preach, but it's more important, according to the Mishnah, to act, to practice what you preach. And finally he says, along the same lines, anyone who speaks excessively, you're on the way to sinning. You're on the way to doing the wrong thing. Why? Because the more one speaks, the more difficult it is to be cautious and precise regarding the content. If you keep talking, you're going to trip up eventually. You're going to say something that is probably less than the right thing to say. As he says, one is consequently liable to gravitate in an undesirable direction, which will lead to sin and deception. And therefore, you shouldn't speak excessively. Say what you need to say when you need to say it, but otherwise, it's better to remain quiet and to learn and to practice and to do more than talking. Rabbi Chananya ben Akashim wrote to Kadosh Baruch Hu Lezakwe says, Yisrael, Avicha Kirba Lahem Torah Mitzvah Shene'emar, Adonai Chafetz Leman Tzikoi Yaktil Torah V'Yadir Kadish Torah Banan.